Imagine a nation at war with itself, brother against brother, a fight not just for land, but for the soul of a country. The American Civil War was one of the most defining moments in U.S. history, shaping the nation we know today. But how did it start? What were the key battles? And how did it finally end? In this video, we'll take you through the entire history of the American Civil War. So stay with us to uncover the full story. The American Civil War, fought between 1861 and 1865, was the deadliest conflict in U.S. history. Over 600,000 soldiers lost their lives, and the war changed the country forever. It was primarily a battle over slavery and states' rights, dividing the North and South. But to understand why the war happened, we need to go back to the early tensions that had been brewing for decades. By the mid-1800s, the United States was deeply divided over slavery. The southern states relied on enslaved labor for their booming cotton industry, while the North was pushing toward abolition. The tensions reached a breaking point when Abraham Lincoln, a strong opponent of slavery's expansion, was elected president in 1860. Southern leaders saw this as a direct threat and decided to break away from the Union. One by one, 11 southern states seceded and formed the Confederate States of America, led by Jefferson Davis. The stage was set for war. The first shots of the Civil War were fired on April 12, 1861, at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Confederate forces attacked the Union-held fort, and within 34 hours it fell. This marked the official start of the war. The North, led by President Lincoln, quickly mobilized troops, while the South prepared for a long fight. Both sides believed the war would be short-lived, but they were gravely mistaken. The war saw brutal battles across the country. The first major clash, the First Battle of Bull Run, showed that the Confederacy was stronger than expected. But as the war dragged on, the Union gained the upper hand. In 1862, the Battle of Antietam became the bloodiest single day in American history, with over 22,000 casualties. This victory allowed Lincoln to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared all enslaved people in Confederate states to be free. This shifted the war's focus to a moral cause, abolishing slavery. The tide turned in 1863 with the Battle of Gettysburg. Over 3 days, Union forces repelled a massive Confederate invasion. This was the beginning of the end for the South. Lincoln later delivered the famous Gettysburg Address, reinforcing the fight for freedom and democracy. By 1864, Union General Ulysses S. Grant launched relentless attacks on Confederate forces. Meanwhile, General William Tecumseh Sherman led a destructive march through Georgia, devastating the South's ability to continue fighting. On April 9, 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. The war was officially over and the Union had won. But the scars of the conflict would last for generations. The Civil War ended slavery, but the struggle for equality was far from over. The Reconstruction era attempted to rebuild the South and give rights to formerly enslaved people, but deep racial tensions remained. The war shaped modern America, defining civil rights battles that continue today. The American Civil War was a war of sacrifice, struggle, and change. It shaped the future of the United States in ways that still affect us today. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.